Okay, in case the two previous videos were audios on a driving video, let me just explain real quick. I have I have all my batteries are dead. I got no power. Well, pretty much. So that means that I'm recording on this GoPro, but it also means that I couldn't do anything on my phone or anything, and so got a bunch of stuff done. Okay, so now the last two videos kept teasing you about telling you um, about kind of a major change to the terminology. It's not a big deal actually at the time of posting this. Oh, I guess it will never be a big deal. It's just important because there are lots of videos where I use two terms and I'm now going to be using different terms. And I wanna work through with you the reasoning here. Okay, um, so we've got the masorit. It's called the masorit because in my language, this means this. It's the thing that we're talking about. If you put an accent like that or something. So, okay, so that's good. This is the masorit. Okay, so the masorit was slapped. And that's my current notation for something being slapped. Okay. It was slapped. Okay, so this is how you note the bottom it, the first it, okay? So it was slapped by something outside or by something else in the sit stem, but we don't care. Once this it was slapped, it slapped these two, okay? This one in turn This is a summit here. All right, well, that's the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one stream. Boom, boom, boom. Another stream. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Okay, so this doesn't receive information. That's what we were talking about in the other video, right? This doesn't really receive information. But the information that we can observe on this scale, given that this guy was slapped, given that he was slapped, so this is going to be cool. And then you could do if it inhibits. Try this. Like that, maybe. So, and even if something, like, let's say that this, okay, this slapped that. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. So here's another place where these, both of the its that followed this, or the sequence that followed this, the Suzit, there are two Suzits that started here. And here, this one, oh. Okay. Okay, so, see, this Suzit and this one collided here. They both slapped it, and it's a summit, so that was great. And then here, the blue one actually sending out an inhibitory signal here. So even though this was sending out a positive signal, that inhibited it. So it died there. Anyway, all right, if this guy has been slapped, the fact that this guy has been slapped tells us, supposing that there's only one way to slap this guy. Again, just grant me that. Then if he slapped, the information, this kinetic information there, like, that means that all those dudes, that means that those two Suzits that arrived here, so this is the only way to slap this guy. So it means that this is slapped, which means that those two specific Suzits happened. And that's kind of information, and maybe meaningless by the fact that never is it the case that there is only one sequence to activate something, to slap something. Anyway, so the enlivery is not this, actually. That's the point. The enlivery is not this. The enlivery, which, by the way, the enlivery is all of this. All the colored stuff that was slapped and begot that. That's the enlivery. Now, I got to thinking about, I thought of the fact that we have afferent, which we can remember as arrive, and efferent, which you can remember as exit. Just remember an exit sign, and that'll help you remember that pair. At least that's what helps me. Except I once told people that, and then came up when I was like 16, and then said, oh, but don't think of, and then I gave some other words that would be flipping the meanings, and then I had that stuck in my head for about 10 years. So anyway, but an exit sign. Imagine an exit sign. Okay. Now, so here we have afferent, efferent, right? So here's the thing. Well, look, long story short, this was called the enlivery, but no, that's not going to work. So the antelivery. Okay, so this way we can have it mean A, and I'll show you why in a second. The cool thing I was doing where I needed to be able to, with one letter, know what I was referring to. And when this was an E, and this was a D, the stuff that happens afterwards, from this, that was no good, because it was E and D, whereas this is A and E, and the E's meant different things. So Antelivery and Antelivery and Eklivery. We can be cool and do with a K. All right, so then we don't know what other activity there will be. Nonetheless, well, so what I was thinking is like how you can maybe give weights, or maybe zits, and we'll see why in a second. To like, so if this is activated, I don't know what the value system would be. But here's what I wrote in my notebook. This felt high to me, a 4. Okay. So if you wanted to do the Eklivery for the masorit here, if you wanted to do an Eklivery for the masorit, meaning the given it, if you want to do the Eklivery for the masorit, well, you say, well, look, this has a super strong connection here. So that's like a 4, whatever unit or whatever. I don't know whether it means, or whether it should be some kind of a percentage of chances that this will activate, given normal baseline activity, and this, or this happening in isolation. I don't know. Okay. And this has a pretty weak connection here. So it's like a 0.5. But if it does make it there, then like this guy is such a strong Eklivery here, or such a strong something, weight or something, that if the masorit slaps this guy is gonna run. So it stays at 0.5. Whereas up here, even though it's likely that this is gonna, liver, the subsequent there, he needs a lot. He needs anteliveries from other places. This is not a sufficient antelivery, and so and it drops down to 0.2. Okay, so then that's the Eklivery, whatever specifically happens given the other stuff. So this is like what it contributes, sort of. And maybe probability would be the best. Do it on a scale of 0 to 1, or 1 to 100. Yeah, but I'll leave that to mathematicians. Think about that, what that could look like. Because what would be cool is you could say, hold on, I'm getting hot. Okay, so let's take an example. So let's take a mallet. Let's do the sunk cost fallacy, okay? Sunk cost fallacy, if you itize it, it would be if I should I generalize it? Sunk cost fallacy might. Oh, that's interesting. It could be phrased as if um, if give for goal, then must receive goal, or you know, it's basically if I gave to the conditions, then I must receive the consequent. All right, well let's not generalize it right now, because we're trying to actually be concrete about things right now, aren't we? Okay, so here is one version, one iteration, one isotope of the sunk cost fallacy. If I paid for this theater ticket, then I must watch the whole thing. Okay? Even if you don't like it, because of that we often will end up sticking around, or feeling, or at least there's a lot of resistance to the idea of just of leaving, even if you're absolutely sure you hate it. And it's easy to justify, like, well, maybe, but, and then there are corporations though who they'll put a lot of money into a project. Seems clear that it's not going to work, but it's because of the money they put into it. They say we must continue to put money into this. And it feels so natural. It feels so intuitively true, doesn't it? So it is hard to even see it as a fallacy, really. Okay. So if I paid for this theater ticket, then I must watch the whole thing. Okay. So, the Antelivery then is having paid for the theater ticket. Okay. The Antelivery, by the way, for the sunk cost fallacy, does never include the displeasure with the thing, or that it seems to be a waste, and so on. But that likely will play a role after our masorit, which is why, these measurements will be different. Some people, the sunk cost fallacy might be super loud, strong, whatever, and so it tends to X-liver, not Ekliver, X-liver. It tends to produce the behavior. And if this is like just ajit, let's call this an ajit here. Let's say that this it here, or no, let's say that it's find something that we like about the play, or find something that we like about the project. So we're a corporation, we spent so much time on this. Someone's saying, hey, it's a waste. Okay, there seems to be evidence. Sunk cost thing is happening. The guy doesn't know it, of course, but, he's resistant. He wants to spend more money, even though there's no good reason to. So we can speculate that the SUSIT is the sunk cost fallacy. Well, when you challenge him on putting in more money, anytime we're challenged, there's an ajit. And this specific ajit is talking about the mission statement, the company mission statement. Okay, so this is also part of the ajit, and this is basically look for something to defend, you know, why should we continue to spend money? That's this it. If we should spend money, then give a reason, which triggers this guy. That's 100% trigger here. Triggers this guy. It is in our mission statement that we don't give up. Or it is in our mission statement that this project is our #1 priority. You know, something like that. And then that's what Eklivery, the person says, yeah, but, you know, how would it look if we stopped committing to this thing that's not in line with our mission statement, which is to persevere? Or it's not in line with our advertising message, or this project is you know how we, or another one might be, this project is how we initially, you know, were able to go public as a company. You know, early versions of this project, and even though it's actually okay to ditch the project now, because now there are other things that people are happy to buy from you, that would be another thing that the agit could come up with. So this is the agit. So that's going to be a very strong connection. Sunk cost, or I don't know. No, maybe not. Sunk cost fallacy might not have a very strong connection here, but if it does trigger the agit, then the agit will trigger talk about the mission statement. Good. Okay. So then if I spent money to finish this project, then I must spend more money to finish this project. Okay. So the Antelivery is this. This is what's needed in order for the masorit to slap to Eklivery. Okay. To Eklivery by slapping the subsequent its. Okay. Which means that the condition, the antecedent, is this. I'm repeating myself. So we could say that the blue stream is the amount of money spent, processing about the amount of money spent, the knowledge that there's a great amount of money spent. So that would be that yit. And then the git, that this is an important goal to finish the project. So the knowledge it, and then this could be the red stream. Okay. It is a fact, an epistemic, an episodic, whatever. I spent money, and that's that knowledge represented in that sequence of activity. And here, git, I have an objective of finishing that project, right? Because they're interpretive its, and then they're knowledge its, and intention its. And it's always been that way for years. So I'm very happy that there aren't a whole bunch of these different things. They're yits and gits. I probably will discover or think of or realize more, but for years it's been information and objectives, or goals, or values, or preferences, whatever. And then here, information, assumptions, whatever. Okay. So now the question today was, for me was, what does it mean? What are these weights going to be based on? What does it mean Because if we anthropomorphize, it's easy. We say the voice is loud. But what does that mean for it to be loud? What does that mean? One thing that it could mean, so with neurons, we know of two types of triggerings, of slapping. There's two ways to slap. Temporal or spatial summation, right? So so for the antelivery to this, for instance, if this gets a whole bunch of it slapping it, then it's more likely to Ekliver. Or alternatively, if an it boop, 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 repeatedly in a short period of time receives a slap, then that will make it more likely to, then that may, break the, they pass the threshold. Now, spatial summation is not a useful way then to talk about an Eklivery. But it is a useful way maybe to talk about an Antelivery, but not from a particular it. Because we're talking about a particular it, we're only talking about an Eklivery from that it, not all that the masorit receives. So maybe spatial is not useful. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying something silly, I'm just not. Maybe for the other side it is. The only way that this can communicate more loudly with this is either a quick succession of signals or more signals. Because if there are intermediate its, if there are parits, right? So if we broke this down and we found the intermediate its, and imagine this started two streams that were going to end up here. I don't know. Okay, so there's something to this. Temporal and spatial. It's easier for me to understand spatial and as an antelivery. Lots of slaps coming in. And we could rate. Ah, great. Okay, good. Okay, I thought it was 4 different words, but no, of course not. Okay, so this could very simply be, this is how kit it is, and this is how zit it is. Okay, so kit and zit. All right, let's take a look at that now.